Yo, what's happening, Raider Nation? It's your boy Soto here. You know what it is. Raiders versus the world, talking about the team that the world loves to hate, your Las Vegas Raiders. All right. I don't know that there's another team in the NFL with such a rich HBCU history as the Raiders. We've had Hall of Fame players to come from HBCU schools. Among the list of Hall of Famers from HBCU schools to don the Raiders jerseys are Jerry Rice from Mississippi Valley State, Art Shell from Maryland Eastern Shore, and Willie Brown from Grambling State. Back in the day, this was almost kind of like, Al Davis's little secret, right? Where he went to go pluck players from HBCU schools that other teams really didn't know about. Really did well for us. Unfortunately, the visibility of HBCU schools hasn't grown as much as it should since then. But now we're having HBCU combines. Before, it was like the best of the best one or two players from historically black colleges and universities who were invited to the actual combine, or maybe not even at all. Now they had their own combine. Now, here's the great part. This is for sure increased visibility for the schools and the players from those schools. A lot of these players are overlooked because of the colleges they went to, and maybe they don't get a chance to play the big, Power 5 conference schools in their schedule. So you just kind of get swept under the rug and have to be like undrafted free agents and just hope to hang on somewhere and hope to play well in another league just so they get noticed. This kind of puts a little bit more of a spotlight on HBCU players. Another good thing about this is it's the same exact testing, standard testing across the board, same drills, same testing, same medicals, and also they get to meet with the teams as well. So it's like they have their own little mini combine where it's not 250, 300 players. It's, about 50, 60 players, maybe even 80 players. So it's a little bit more condensed. It's a little bit more intimate, and it could mean a lot for some of those mid to late round picks. Another big thing is it just levels the playing field. Just because you went to a smaller HBCU school doesn't mean you don't have talent. There's talent all over the place. This is big for the NFL because ultimately you want to get the best players you can. And if you can find them wherever you can find them, and this really helps the NFL find those players before they have to go either somewhere else or be undrafted. Let's take a look at a couple of players from HBCU schools who are turning heads and making names for themselves in the upcoming draft. All right, first player on the list is Waen David, wide receiver from North Carolina Central. All right, this dude is tall, 6'4", about 190, 195 pounds around there. Well, he put on 25 pounds of muscle while he was in college. That goes to show you, he came in around 6'4" and a beanpole. No wonder he didn't get a lot of looks from a lot of big schools, but he put on the muscle. He's a little bit bigger. He has a wiry frame still, but at 6'4", dude can fly. He went full Moses Malone and went fo in his 40. And even better than that, he had a 1.49 in his 10-yard split. That's insane burst off the line. So not only is he fast, but he's explosive. Now you get on top of that, a 40.5-inch vertical, so he can jump, he can run, he has good burst, he has big hands, he has a wide wingspan and a big catch radius. This guy's going to turn some heads. And if he gets picked in the middle to late rounds, I wouldn't be surprised in the least. Next on the list is running back from Jackson State, Irv Mulligan. Now, Irv Mulligan's a little bit on the smaller side. He's 5'9", about 200 pounds, and he's not the fastest guy. He ran like a 4.58 40, but he had a 1.51 split in the 10-yard split. So that means he's quicker than he is fast. He got a really good burst, a really fast first step. He gets off the line. His first couple steps are going to be super fast. And another crazy thing is, on top of having over 1,200 yards and 13 touchdowns last season, he forced 58 missed tackles. So he's tough to bring down. Look for Irv Mulligan in a very deep running back class to maybe get a late 7th round selection or be a very top free agent undrafted after the draft. All right, next is Kendall Bowler, DB, cornerback out of Florida A&M. All right, he's a little bit shorter than ideal for a corner. He's about 5'10", 5'11", maybe 100 and 190 pounds. Okay, well, just throw that away. He's got a huge wingspan. He's got a 75-inch wingspan. For someone that height, crazy long arms. Now, he's not the fastest guy in the world. He ran a 4.53 40 in the combine, but previously he was clocked at 4.3. I don't know. It's kind of a similar thing that happened to Trey Tucker. He ran a much faster 40 at his senior day than he did in the combine. And, you can tell he's a speedster on the field. So we'll see how that works out. But he's not afraid to hit. He's really aggressive, and he's got good skills, good quick feet. Now, he made Bruce Feldman's freak list. This dude at 190 pounds, he squatted 560 pounds. The dude is a freak of nature. He's explosive. He's quick. He's got super long arms, and he's a powerful hitter. He forced 13 incomplete passes this last season, 2-time conference player. Look for him to get a look later in this, maybe in the 6th or 7th round of the draft. All right, up next, edge rusher from Prairie View A&M, Fred Stokes Jr. All right, now he played at Central Michigan for a little while, didn't get a lot of snaps, so he went to Prairie View A&M, and man, did he flourish. This dude is a freak. 6'5", 255. He's got over 30-inch arms. He's got like over an 80-inch wingspan. The guy can make it happen. He ran a 4.76 40 and an eye-popping 1.6 in the 10-yard split. That's like elite status for a defensive lineman. For an edge rusher, that's quick get off. Now, his stats weren't the greatest. He had 3.5 sacks and 13 tackles for loss this last season, but when you're the only guy on the team that other teams focus on, it's tough to make things happen for yourself. So it's going to be a little bit of a gamble for this guy. He wasn't super productive in college, but he has the physical tools. If you can teach him a little bit more technique, take advantage of his first step and his length, I think he'll be a steal in late rounds or as an undrafted free agent. All right, up next is an offensive tackle project out of North Carolina A&T, Jason Ivey. All right. Nice measurables, okay? He's 6'4". He's got a huge 10.5-inch hands. He has an eye-popping 86-inch wingspan, but he's only 290 pounds. That's not going to cut it in the NFL. He's a little light in the seat. He needs to put on some mass. He needs to be able to carry that mass and keep the quickness laterally in order to be in the NFL, but his physical tools can't be denied. He's got some raw talent. He ran a 5.16 40 with a 1.7 split in the 10. He's got some tools. If a team trusts their coaches to develop, this will be a great kind of stash on the practice squad. Okay, Quantz Manfield is up next, defensive lineman from North Carolina Central. His issue is he's a little small, all right? He's 6'1", 280 pounds. Normally a defensive tackle, defensive lineman, you want him to be either, if he's going to be that tall, you want him to be a little bit girthier, or if it's going to be, that thin, you want him to have a little bit longer reach, but it doesn't seem to matter. He ran a 4.9 40 and a 1.7 10-yard split, so he's quick off the ball, and he's going to be able to chase down a lot of people. He was just a relentless motor, and he had 13 tackles for loss in his career. He has a 32.5-inch vert, and he had 18 pressures up the middle this last season. The guy can get it done pass rushing-wise. If a team can take a flyer on him and take some time to develop him, he could turn into a really good player for a team out there in the NFL. All right, last spotlighted player is Xavier Rubio, DB out of Howard. This guy is another physical freak. About 6'1", 190. He had a 43-inch vertical and 10.5-inch broad jump. The guy's just a fast twitch muscle waiting to happen. He was a do-everything safety, in the box, out deep, covering the slot. He was the guy that did everything for that Howard defense. He could be a big steal late in the late rounds for some NFL team out there. There's a couple more players out there. If you want to keep an eye on these guys, maybe do some research yourself. Listen to these names. There's True Thompson, defensive tackle from Jackson State. Another defensive tackle from Morgan State, Elijah Williams. Jaden Sutton, the running back from Delaware State. Jeremiah Pruitt, tight end from Florida A&M. Terrence Holland, linebacker from Howard. And Robert McDaniel, defensive back from Jackson State. Look, guys, there's players everywhere. Like I said, you guys, it's very difficult to find 6'5", 6'6", 300-pound athletic guys out in the real world, right? But how many 6 foot, 200-pound athletic guys do you see? A lot more often, right? Not all of them can go to big-time schools. Maybe it's just they were late bloomers physically. Maybe they had some issues going on where they couldn't get into certain schools. Maybe they just wanted to go to a smaller HBCU school. Who knows? But the talent is out there, and this HBCU Combine is a great way to highlight the talent from these smaller HBCU schools. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for your time. Everyone, make sure, please subscribe to this channel. It's the best thing you can do to help this channel. It's free, and honestly, it's the absolute bare minimum you can do to help this channel out besides doing absolutely nothing at all. I hope you liked it. Appreciate your time. Until next time, everybody, peace. Hey, Raider Nation, thanks for watching. There's plenty more where that came from. Go ahead and smash that like button, drop a comment, make sure to subscribe and share to all your socials. It's the bare minimum you can do without doing absolutely nothing.